Ay, mi madre, estoy tarde, me tengo que ir. Primo, pásame the iron, me tengo que ir. You may be able to get away with that in the United States or in Puerto Rico or maybe even in Mexico. But if you go to a Spanish speaking country or speak to somebody who only speaks Spanish and doesn't know English, that's not going to fly. But don't worry. If there's a problem, there's a solution. And today, Bilingüe Blogs has 5 solutions for you to stop reverting back to English when you're speaking Spanish. ¿Qué es lo que mi gente? Yo soy Ricky de Bilingüe Blogs. Gracias por estar aquí conmigo viendo otro video. When people hear me speak Spanish, they assume that I'm a native Spanish speaker. They assume that I'm very fluent. I'm not a native Spanish speaker. I'm a black boy from Chicago, but I am fluent. But what makes me fluent? Is it because I can mimic other Spanish-speaking accents? Is it because I know a lot of slang? Actually, no. It's because I know how to paint the image that's in my mind into your mind in 100% Spanish without using any English. That's why I'm fluent, and it's a lot easier to get to that level than you think. And you might already be there once I reveal to you these 5 tips. Entonces, mi gente, let's get to method number 1. But the first thing that we have to do is describe things using the characteristics of that thing, the physical characteristics. So we can talk about size, we can talk about color, we can talk about shape, material, texture. What are the physical properties of this thing? And just so you know, this is not for beginners necessarily. There are natives who do this all the time. When I was in the Dominican Republic and I would hear people speak in their own homes, they would say things like, oye, primo, pásame esa vaina ahí. ¿Esto?
La vaina blanca, tú sabes.
Blanco. ¿Esto aquí?
Esa es blanca, circular y pequeña, tiene un botón arriba.
Oh, esto. Claro que sí.
Esa. Ok, entonces esta es la vaina, mi gente. This is the thing. Es blanca, chiquita, porque no es grande, y es circular. I painted the picture en la mente de mi primo, and he was able to give it to me. That's what you want to do. You want to use your small words, and these are basic words, Spanish 101 words, colors, shape, sizes, all those things. If you don't know them, then, look them up, right? But that's just a placeholder. We don't want to do that permanently, okay? You want to actually learn the words. You want to always be curious in Spanish and be building your vocabulary. So you use the small words to get to the goal in the moment quickly, but you should always look it up after. And once you look it up, that's when your Spanish like a native planner from Bilingüe Blogs comes into play. You're going to go to the Palabras Nuevas section, and under Palabras Extras in this category here, it's like 8 spaces for you to write down new words that you're just curious about, new words that you learn as you're living Spanish, speaking Spanish and going through your Spanish journey. You want to write it down in that section there. So you can find this on Amazon or Lulu. Click the link up there to get yours today. Tú sabes que lo que mi gente, this is the exact system that I used to become fluent in Spanish. So I made it into a planner form for you. Pero back to the video. Forma número 2 is that you can say what the thing is used for. This is actually my favorite because I don't know every single word in Spanish. I don't know every word in English. So what do? I say what the thing is used for. I think that many times we get so bent out of shape about Spanish, not realizing that we use these tactics already in English, So bring it over to this language here. Por ejemplo, primo.
Sí, primo.
Ayúdame de nuevo, porfa.
¿Qué quieres?
Mira, ¿tú sabes dónde está la vaina que yo uso para escuchar la música?
¿Esto?
Sí, yo uso eso, pero no. La otra cosa, como yo la uso para escuchar música bien alta.
Ah, ok, entonces esta vaina.
Esa vaina. In the first example, we use physical description, but this time we talked about what it does. What purpose does this serve? ¿Para qué sirve esta vaina? Now, when you're using this form, the typical phrase that you will say is, tú sabes dónde está la vaina que se usa para, and then go on describing what is it used for. You know what the thing is that people use to do this, to do that? Tú sabes dónde está la vaina que se usa para blah, blah, blah. Another form will be, have you seen this thing? ¿Tú has visto la vaina que se usa para blah, blah, blah? Muy sencillo, mi gente, no es difícil. Tú tienes que ponerlo en práctica para que te salga bien, tú sabes. But once again, write it down in your book so that way you can have the word locked in and have it in your arsenal for future references. The last one might be a little challenging if you don't have enough verbs in your system, but that's okay. It's a great way to learn verbs. So this next one, we're going to take it back and make it a little bit more easy because you should know your directions. Enfrente de, detrás de, al lado de, junto a. a la izquierda de a la derecha, de cosas así. Entonces, instead of going to English, describe what the thing is. Por ejemplo, primo,
Sí, primo.
tú puedes darme esa vaina.
¿Qué?
Sí, esa vaina negra que se usa cuando está oscuro, tú sabes.
Esto aquí.
Pues de hecho hay dos. Al lado de esa foto hay una foto y hay una a la derecha, hay una a la izquierda. Pásame una de las dos, porfa.
¿Esto?
Eso mismo. So you see, I was able to tell him about the flashlight, right? But I didn't know how to say flashlight in Spanish, so I just used the location to paint the picture in his mind of exactly what I needed him to do. You can do the exact same thing, mi gente. I'm telling you. If you're finding this video helpful, hype it up and share with somebody that is learning Spanish as well. I make these videos so that way you guys can learn to speak Spanish like natives and think outside the box. I'm not just teaching you Spanish, I'm teaching you how to think in Spanish. I make all these videos myself, I edit them myself, I come with all the planning y cosas así. So it helps out a lot when you interact. Pero let's get to número cuatro. Okay, número cuatro is kind of similar to number two, but it's not necessarily the same thing. Because number two was like, what is it used for? But number four is, what does it do? Like, does it spin? Does it stand there? Does it lay down? You know, cosas así. What does it do on its own, right? Por ejemplo, primo.
Primo, ¿qué quieres?
Oye, tú puedes pasarme esa vaina. Es un instrumento que se usa en la música dominicana y hace como mucho ruido.
Un instrumento.
En la bachata, en el merengue, tú sabes, es como un instrumento de dos partes. Sí, como hace un sonido como así, tú sabes.
Oh, esto aquí.
Eso. Aquí tenemos la guira. Ok, esto se llama la guira. Entonces, I talked about what this thing does. Talk about the sound that it makes, you know? So I don't think I gotta say much about that. You got the example. Apply it yourself. Last but not least, we have comparison. What can you compare this object or this action to that can get the point across, that can paint the image in the person's mind that you're speaking to? Oye, primo. Tú me puedes pasar esa vaina de la cocina que es como un martillo, pero para la carne.
¿Esto?
Eso mismo, tú sabes.
Esta es la última cosa que te voy a traer.
Y aquí tenemos esta vaina que es como martillo, but it's not. It's like a hammer, but it's not a hammer. It's like a meat hammer, tú sabes. Entonces, I was able to compare to something that was very similar, but not exactly the same thing. And he was able to get the idea. Okay, I know you see that there's time left on this video. And you're probably wondering what we're gonna do. Well, I got some objects here, and I want you to put it into practice out loud. You can tag me in videos on Instagram or TikTok, or write it in the comments. But I'm gonna show you some things, and I want you to describe them using one of these 5 methods or mix them together. Mixtures always help. Remember, you wanna paint that vivid image from your mind into the other person's mind. Entonces, let me grab a few things. Primero, tenemos esto. How would you describe it? I hope you know what this is. There's a lot of ways to describe it. If I want to use the last method, I could say, oye, tú tienes esa vaina que es como una televisión, pero también como el cine. Tú sabes, esa cosa que pone las imágenes o los videos en la pared o en la pantalla desde lejos. So, I can describe el proyector that way. ¿Qué tal esta vaina? Let me know how you described it, but we're going to go to the next one. All right, let's do one more thing. Vamos a hacer una cosa más, mi gente, una cosa más. This is good because you probably don't even really know the name of this thing, so try to describe it. Muy bien. All right, so it's pretty straightforward. That'll be it for today's video. If you found it helpful, go ahead and share this video, hype it up, like it. Make sure to interact if you haven't interacted already, but with actual examples. I want you guys to be practicing Spanish, producing Spanish. Tú sabes que lo que es. And if you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe, mi gente. Hasta aquí el video de hoy, mi gente, y nos fuimos.